All right, so from what I can tell in my readings, I am able to be heard. Getting some stuff here that I wasn't really expecting, but eh. Hopefully, if somehow somebody sends me like a chat something, glance over occasionally to try to see it. Just like I almost never get chats, so there it is. Pop out chat. That's what I wanted. All right, cool. So now I can have sort of an easier eye there. Keep an eye on chat. But the title says it all. So let's start reading off some of the common and uncommons from Magic the Gathering. Whoa! Wilds of Eldraine. Okay. Cheeky House Mouse. White 1-drop. It's actually an adventure card. So it's the creature mouse type 2/1. The adventure portion, Squeak by. White 1-drop sorcery. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater this turn. Cool. Glass Casket, a reprint, 1 and a white artifact. When Glass Casket enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls with mana value 3 or less until it leaves the battlefield. Until this card leaves the battlefield. Shrouded Shepherd, 1 and a white creature, spirit warrior 2/2. When Shrouded Shepherd ETBs, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It also has adventure. Cleave Shadows, 1 and a black sorcery. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Wow. That's a really good warrior. I kind of wish it had more creature types. Cursed Courtier, 2 and a white creature human noble 3/3 lifelink. When Cursed Courtier enters the battlefield, create a cursed roll token attached to it. So even though it says it's a 3/3, it will ETB as a 1/1. No, wait, enters the battlefield, create. That's interesting. So that'll go on the stack, I would assume. So if the roll token. Discerning Financier, 2 and a white creature human noble 2/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, create a treasure token. 2 and a white, choose another player. That player gains control of target treasure you control. Draw a card. You are going to be a fan for Commander. Yeah, it's already a 20 cent uncommon, which, if I'm scrolling through some of the prices here, is so far the most expensive uncommon I've seen. Cool. Eerie Interference, 2 and a white instant. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Pie Wielder, 2 and a white creature, Dwarf Knight, 2/3. First Strike, Celebration. Gallant Pie Wielder has double strike as long as 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control. Doves, 2 and a white creature, human knight, 1/3. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Mouthful. Pests of Honor, 2 and a white creature mouse 2/2. Celebration at the beginning of your combat. Beginning of combat on your turn. If 2 or more non-land permanents ETB'd under your control this turn, put a +1/+1 on this card. Solitary Sanctuary, 2 and a white enchantment. When Solitary Sanctuary enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Whenever you tap an untapped creature and opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Winner right now for most expensive uncommon in white. Stroke of Midnight, 2 and a white instant. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller gets a 1/1 white human creature token. Frogify in white. Nice. The Princess Takes Flight. 2 and a white saga. Exile up to 1 target creature. Chapter 2, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gets flying until end of turn. Chapter 3, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Woodland Acolyte, 2 and a white. Creature, human cleric, 2/2. When Woodland Acolyte enters the battlefield, draw a card. It has advantage. Ooh. Ooh, okay. All right. I can see what you're doing there. A little bit of elf vibes, but from a human cleric. Cool. The Food Coma, 3 and a white, enchantment. When Food Coma enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls until Food Coma leaves the battlefield. Create a one from the Amonkhet block. I think it's cast away or cast out. Because it also has, I think, has cycling and it has flash. Might not have cycling. It might. No, it has. Pretty sure it has both. Dutiful Griffin, 3 white creature, Griffin, 4/4 flying, 2 and a white, sacrifice 2 enchantments in order to return Dutiful Griffin from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, that's kind of cool. Should be able to, if I go back up to the top. Gameplay set rarity. Make that common. Ah, it worked. Sweet. But the blue uncommons. Bitter Chill, 1 and a blue, enchantment, aura, enchant creature. When Bitter Chill enters the battlefield, tap enchant. 3, you get to scry. Turn 2, play this. Turn 3, Frank's with adventure. Free the Fae, 1 and a blue, instant. Mill 4 cards, then put an instant sorcery or fairy card from among the milled cards into your hand. Frolicking Familiar gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's a 1 damage to prowess because you don't get. I'm not going to say that Rot Sentry attacks. You may pay 1 and a blue. When you do, tap target creature and opponent controls. Whenever you tap an untapped creature and opponent controls, Ice Rot Sentry gets +2/+1 until end of turn. So it becomes a 4/4. Nice. 2, target creatures and opponent. Bone Seeker, 2 and a blue, creature, human, knight, 3/2. Bargain. When Tenacious Tome Seeker ETBs, if it was bargained, return. Check prices real quick. Giant, 3 and a blue. Creature, Giant Wizard, 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, tap target creature and opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. It also has adventure, 5 blue instant. Draw 4, discard 2. It's not a bad selection, especially for an instant that then becomes a creature. Plays well in multiples. You play the first one as an instant. Sure, snowballs nicely. Splashy Spellcaster, 3 and a blue, creature, elemental, wizard, 2/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a sorcerer role token attached to up to 1 other target creature you control. Malventure spell, draw a card. Thank goodness this isn't a 1-drop. Threadbind Click, 3 and a blue, creature, fairy, 3/3 flying, with adventure. Rip the Seams, 2 and a white, in generic, less to cast. For each creature that attacked this turn, draw 3 cards. Nice. Very, very nice. I like it. So, like, go wide blue decks. Because that's something we need in this world. On to black. 1-drop sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose another. Exile a card from your hand. Ooh, so it's a self 2-for-1 if you don't have the fairy out, but you literally get to hit any non-land card. Interesting. How important is a somewhat cheaper and a 3/2 mana? So it's not quite scam, but you know, what would you rather lose? Any card from your hand that's your choice, or this is interesting. That's very interesting. Fairy Dream Thief. Black 1-drop, creature, fairy, warlock. You draw a card and lose a life. I like it. I want to draft a ton of these. I want as many Fairy Dream Thieves as possible. I don't see the downside. Fairy, if you control a fairy as you cast this spell. I like it. So I don't need the fairy to remain on the field while this is on the stack to get my benefit. I like the phrasing. It's good phrasing. Soldier, 2/2. Callous Cell Sword enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died under your control this turn. It doesn't have instant, though. That's why it's not a rare. But it does have adventure. Burn together, red 1-drop sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, and then sacrifice it. So it's a fling? That's a fling. But but you don't have to sacrifice the... Oh, it's a fixed fling! That is target creature an opponent controls with mana value 2 or less. Chapter 2, create a food token. Chapter 3, create a wicked roll token attached to target creature you control. Seems like a decent on-the-draw type of play. Hopefully the opponent has played out a 1-drop or 2-drop creature. Otherwise, this is just going to sit around and not really do anything. Back for 7 with mana value 4 or less onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand. Nice little reanimation spell. Experimental Confectioner, 2 and a black creature, human peasant, 2/3. When this card ETBs, create a food token. Whenever you sack a food, create a 1/1 black rat token. Creature with this creature can't block. That's 60 cents? Really? Okay. Sure. Oh, cat oven. Yep. Okay. I see it now. Yep. Cat oven. Cool. Lord Skitter's Butcher, 2 and a black, creature rat peasant 2/3. When this creature ETBs, choose 1. Option 1, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Option 2, you may sack another creature. If you do, scry 2, then draw. Option 3, creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. Wow. It's a nice rat card. I mean, yeah, like seriously, in a rat deck where I'm just running those, relentless rats, and then I have like 4 of these. From the 2 flying, whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, up to 1 target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay, so for like a Drago, blue-black, control-y type of deck, really even Drago black, you could go Drago black instead of Drago blue. It's possible. Spell Scorn Coven, 3 and a black, creature, fairy, warlock, 2/3 flying. When Spell Scorn Coven ETBs, each opponent discards a card. But with adventure, take it back, 2 and a blue instant. Return target spell to its owner's hand. So because it's a return target spell, that means it can only target stuff on the stack. Taken by Nightmares, 2 black instant. Exile target creature. If you control an enchantment, you have to scry 2. Not bad. I hear there's a lot of enchantments. Block 3/5, bargain flying. When High Fae Negotiator ETBs, if it was bargain, each opponent loses 3 and you gain 3. So drain 3. I like it. It's a nice top end right there. Old Flitterfang, 4 and a black, legendary creature, rat, fairy, 3/4. Flying? At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, create a food token. 2 and a black, sack another creature or artifact in order to get your human warlock 3/4. When Twisted Sewer. Black sounds pretty fun. Realizing now I have to actually duplicate this to try to do colorless. How does colorless work? If I go back again. Nope. Okay. Scryfall.com. Advanced Assertion, colorless, exactly these colors, and whoa, uncommon, search with these options, and colorless is C. Okay, cool. Red 1-drop creature, human knight, 2/1, 1 generic, sack this creature. Create a young hero roll token attached to another target creature. Man, if this thing only had haste. But it's a 2. I would honestly rather it be a 1/1 with haste. That would be so much nicer. But I guess in a way, a 2/1 does play better. And assuming opponent, if I'm on the play, an opponent doesn't also play a 1-drop, this actually plays really well. It still gets me 2 points of damage because a haste or 1-drop would attack on turn 1, attack on turn 2. But now this hits harder on turn 3 because now this can trade up with a 3/2. and a 2/2. It doesn't really trade up with a 2/2, but it trades with a 2/2. And then that late game ability to put a young hero role token on, like a 2/2, this actually could have some legs in even like a cheapy burn. You see this red list. It's not bad. Not a bad card. Monstrous Rage. Red 1-drop instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster role token attached to it. Stone Splitter Bolt. X and a red. Instant bargain. Stone Splitter Bolt deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell was bargain, it deals twice X damage to that permanent instead. Twice X. I like twice X. Fortunately, it can only go creature or walker, not face. So, as a burn player, don't care. Becomes Brutes. Becomes Brutess. 1 and a red sorcery. 1 or 2 target creatures each gain haste until end of turn. For each of those creatures, create a monster role token attached to it. Boundary Lands Ranger. 1 and a red creature, human ranger, 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may discard a card if you do draw. Picnic Ruiner. 1 and a red creature, goblin, rogue, 2/2. Whenever this card attacks, while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. It also has adventure. Stolen Goodies. 3 and a green sorcery. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. It's not a bad adventure at all. Tattered Ratter. 1 and a red creature, human peasant. Whenever a rat you control becomes blocked, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Whenever a blocked rat. Yeah, but it's not a rat. So, I don't know. Whatever. Belligerent of the Ball. 2 and a red creature, ogre, warrior, 3/3 celebration. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents ETB'd under your control this turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains menace until end of turn. Knight 2/2. When Imodane's Recruiter enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. It also has adventure. Train Troops. 4 and a white sorcery. Create 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance. So ideally, with this, you would wait on turn 5. You would play Train the Troops. Apparently just Train Troops. Just annoying, but couldn't you just put the in there? Train the? Whatever. Great 2/2, so you've added 4 power and toughness to the battlefield. Then on turn 6, you cast this. It ETBs, gives the team +1/+0 and haste. And because it is also on the battlefield, it itself is gaining haste, so becoming a 3/2. Twisted Fealty. 2 and a red sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Create a wicked role token attached to up to 1 target creature. It's an act of treason. Awesome. Charging Hooligan. 3 and a red creature, human peasant, 3/3. Whenever Charging Hooligan attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each attacking creature. If a rat is attacking, Charging Hooligan gains trample until end of turn. So there's that. So it always attacks as a 4/3 because it doesn't say for each other attacking. So it sees itself attacking. Unless, so unless you just completely miss the trigger, and somehow like it's just plopped onto the battlefield attacking, so it never actually had the whenever it attacks trigger out. Corvold and the Noble Thief. 3 and a red, Saga. Chapters 1 and 2, create a treasure token. Chapter 3, exile the top 3 cards of target opponent's library. You may play those cards this turn. It doesn't say you may use mana of any color. Witch Stalker Frenzy. 3 and a red instant. The spell costs 1 generic less to cast for each creature that attacked this turn. Witch Stalker Frenzy deals 5 damage to target creature. Two-Headed Hunter. 4 and a red. Creature Giant 5/4 Menace with an adventure. Twice the Rage. 1 and a red instant. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Hearth Elemental, 5 and a red, creature elemental, 4/5. This spell costs X generic less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant, sorcery, and or have adventure. It itself has adventure. Stoke Genius, 1 and a red, sorcery. Discard your hand, and then draw 2 cards. So when you're hellbent and this is the last card in your hand, I would like to Stoke Genius, draw 2 free cards. And then depending on where you are in the game, if you've got enough mana, I would like to now cast Hearth Elemental. Fun times. Alright, cool. That's all the red uncommons. So moving right along to the green uncommons. Royal Treatment, green 1-drop instant. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Create a royal roll token attached to that creature. Graceful Takedown, 1 and a green, sorcery. Any number of target enchanted creatures you control and up to 1 other target creature you control each deal damage equal to their power to target creature you don't control. Okay, that's a lot to digest, but it does a thing. Intrepid Truffle Snout, 1 and a green, creature boar, 3/1. Whenever Intrepid Truffle Snout attacks alone, create a food token. Go Hog Wild, 1 and a green instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Until EOT. Uyat. Yeah, there's just not a good term for that. Red Tooth Vanguard, 1 and a green, creature, elf, warrior, 3/1 trample. Whenever an enchantment ETB is under your control, you may pay 2 generic. If you do, be constantly checking from the graveyard. Fun times. Tough Cookie, 1 and a green, artifact creature. Pay 2 and a green in order for target non-creature artifact you control to become a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. Pay 2 generic and tap, sack Tough Cookie, so sack this card, to gain 3 life. So it itself is a food, and because it's food, it has to have the 2-tap sack to gain 3 life ability. Beanstalk, 1 and a green, enchantment, when card. Ooh, this is cracking into like the top 5, I think, of most expensive uncommons so far from the set. Because you control, where X is 1+ the number of foods you control. ETBs under your control, draw a card. Your beast. Why are you not a wolf? You're howling and you look like a wolf. You should be a wolf. 4/4, vigilance. Howling Galfang has haste as long as you own a card in exile that has an adventure. Ooh, that's fun. Knight of the Sweet's Revenge. Tap out a green. 5 green, sack this card in order to give creatures you control +X till end of turn, where X is the number of foods you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, that's unfortunate, though. Oh, it's not a food itself. Never mind. Provisions Merchant. 2 green, creature, beast, peasant, 3/3. When this card ETBs, create a food. When this card attacks, you may sack a food. If you do, attacking creatures get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. I'm starting to feel like food is fixed energy. Tempest Heart, 3 and a green, creature, elemental, elk, 3/4 trample. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. It's also got adventure. Scan the Clouds, 1 and a blue instant. Draw 2, discard 2. But in that order, draw 2 then. Agatha's Champion, 4 and a green, creature, human knight, 4/4 bargain, trample. When this card ETBs, if it was bargain, it 4 and a green, creature, giant, 5/5. When this card ETBs, create a food token. Puny Snack, 2 and a black, instant adventure. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Meh. It's not a great draft card, but it's not a terrible draft card either. I mean, -2/-2 is okay, and it clearly has the adventure food to gain some life. Now you've got just this 5/5 with no trample. Nothing special about it other than the fact that it had adventure. I wouldn't draft it highly. Stormkeld Vanguard, 4 green green, creature giant warrior, 6/7. This card can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Bear down, 1 green sorcery, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Nice. Nice. Come on back for the commons. Alrighty, uncommon colorless. Collector's Vault, 2 artifact, pay 2 and tap, draw a card, then discard a card, create a treasure token. I want this in my Teshar Convolution deck because I think this can be like my 5th or maybe 6th even copy of 2-drop Rona. It essentially does the same thing as Rona. Now, the fact that I have to pay 2, that hurts. I'll be the first to admit that's why this is just backup Rona, not actual. Obviously, you still run the 4 of 2-drop Rona. But to have a 5th copy of Rona, I mean, Rona just makes that deck. And the other nice advantage with this plays right into Emery Lurker of the Loch. So in that deck, let's assume you've hit your 3 lands, which this aids that. So you've played all 3 of your lands. Or even maybe you're digging for your 3rd land. You pay the 2. You tap this, you draw, you discard. Boom! Oh my goodness, there's my 3rd land. Oh my goodness, and there's a treasure token just in case I need it. But I don't, because now I can play a land. And now if that land is blue, I can cast Emery for blue. Because this is an artifact, and it just made an artifact on the treasure, because it's a treasure. Treasures are artifacts. So this really, it snowballs nicely into Emery. It fills in as like a 5th or even 6th copy of Rona. For those of you that don't know about my Teshar Convolution, just go find my Explorer deck / Pioneer build, but it's a 50-50, and it's fun, and it's hard. I highly recommend. But back to why the main course of this stream. Edgewall in land. Edgewall in ETBs tapped. As an ETB, choose a color. Tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color, or pay 3 tap, sack it, to return target card that has an adventure from your graveyard to your hand. Ooh. Interesting. Iret's Tempting Apple, 4. Legendary artifact, food. When this card ETBs, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, gains haste until end of turn. Pay 2, tap, sack to gain 3. Pay 2, tap, sack. Target opponent loses 3. Oh, loses 3? That's a new one. Oh, but it's a Tempting Apple. Has to be able to potentially kill people. I like it. It's an act of treason that's also a win con. Soul Guide Lantern, 1 generic artifact. This is a reprint. When this card ETBs, exile target card from a graveyard, tap, sack it, exile each opponent's graveyard, pay 1 tap, sack to draw a card. It's a good card. 3 Bowls of Porridge, 2 generic artifact food, pay 2 tap, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Option 1, this card deals 2 damage to target creature. Option 2, tap target creature. Option 3, sack this card to gain 3 life. That's kind of a cool... That is like, I'm paying 2 to someday pay 4 to deal 2 to a creature, pay 4 to tap a creature, or pay 4 to gain a life. I don't... It's because it's the 3 Bowls of Porridge, like, it itself kind of has to be food. Where I think this is maybe better is if this would have had ETB make a food token... Because then you're getting it has the 2 things. Really now, in a way, for 6 mana, you're gaining 6. Which I feel like is a better return than paying 4 in installments to gain 3. And then you still have the ability to also... Although that's true, so it's not really pay 4 to deal 2. It's pay 2 now, so that potentially you can pay a total of 8, again, in installments, for a creature shock, a tap a creature, instant speed, shock a creature, instant speed, tap a creature, And then, of course, the food aspect. So that is, I'm going to be very curious to see how this plays out, because with all of those options and it not being restricted to sorcery speed, I still, like I said, I wish it had the ETB effect, because then it also plays nicely into the if 2 permanents have entered the battlefield archetype of this draft set. But that's a thinker. That's a tough one. Okay, and that was the last uncommon colorless. Cool. Are there any common and it looks like the wording on these cards is not getting lighter, but hopefully it gets a little bit easier. So again, sorted by mana value. Archon's Glory, a white 1-drop instant bargain. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If this spell was bargained, that creature also gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. Right out of the gate, 24 cents. Nice. Break the Spell, white 1-drop instant, destroy target enchantment. If a permanent you controlled or a token was destroyed this way, draw a card. Very cool. Slumbering Keepguard, white 1-drop creature, human knight 1/1. Whenever an enchantment ETB is under your control, scry 1. Pay 2 and a white to give this creature +1/+1 until end of turn for each enchantment you control. Ooh, hello, like cheaper Boggles or Pants deck that it can't protect itself, but like you have to keep paying to give it the buff. But because like if you're doing, like, let's say you do this, you have the first Pants like wards, and then the next Pants is like all that glitters. Ooh, that is quite the hamburger. Armory Mice, 1 and a white creature mouse, 3/1 celebration. This creature gets +0/+2 as long as 2 or more non-land permanents ETB'd under your control this turn. Cooped Up, 1 and a white, enchantment aura, enchanted creature can't attack or block. Pay 2 and a white to exile the enchanted creature. Tap target creature. 2 white knight creature token with Vig. When this card is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2, pay 2 and a white, 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If the spell is bargained, destroy that creature instead. Plunge into Winter, 1 and a white instant, tap up to 1 target creature, scry 1, then draw. Return Triumphant, 1 and a white sorcery, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a young hero role attached to it. Unassuming Sage, 1 and a white creature, human, peasant, wizard. That's what I'm talking about. Triple subtypes. Human, peasant, wizard, 2/2. When Unassuming Sage enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 generic. If you do, create a sorcerer role token attached to it. Moment of Valor, 2 and a white instant, choose a creature with power 4 or greater. Protective Parents, 2 and a white, creature, human, peasant, 3/2. When this creature dies, create a young hero role token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Savior of the Sleeping, 2 and a white creature, human knight, 2/3 Vig. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Stockpiling Celebrant, 2 and a white creature, dwarf knight, 3/2. When this creature ETBs, you may return another target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If you do, scry 2. This ETBs, you may return another target non-land permanent. If you do, scry 2. Play interestingly with Fibblethip, and it's 3-drop but it's not legendary, so yeah, not really a good fit for my Teshar Convolution deck. Moving on. Bestowed Knight, 3 and a white. Oh, 24 cents. We got a tie. 3 and a white creature, human knight, 3/3, vanilla. But with adventure, Betroth the Beast, white 1-drop sorcery. Create a royal roll token attached to target creature you control. Nice. Rhyme for Reindeer. 3 and a white creature elk, 3/4. Whenever an enchantment ETBs under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. Tuinvale Guide. 3 and a white. Creature, fairy, scout, 2/3 flying. Celebration! Gets +1/+0. And lifelink. Charmed Clothier. 4 and a white. Creature, fairy, advisor, 3/3 flying. When this creature ETBs, create a royal roll token attached to another target creature you control. Alright, moving on to blue. Blue commons. Sleight of Hand. Blue 1-drop sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, the other on the bottom of your library. Snare Master Sprite. Blue 1-drop creature, fairy, wizard, 1/1 flying. When this creature ETBs, you may pay 2 generic. When you do, tap target creature and opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Stun counter. Yeah. Aquatic Alchemist, 1 and a blue, creature elemental, 1/3. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, Aquatic Alchemist gets +2/+0 until end of turn, so becomes a 3/3. With Adventure, bubble up 2 and a blue sorcery. Put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. That really should have been an instant, but I honestly, like, if bubble up was 3 and a blue instant, I'd been much happier with that. Much happier. Freeze in Place. 1 and a blue sorcery. Tap target creature and opponent controls and put 3 stun counters on it. Scry 2. If I recall, 3 stun counters were okay, but nothing to write home about. Especially with this being sorcery. Does the Scry 2 help it? I don't know. Like, 3 turns, it feels like it should be enough. But at least in draft, if you don't have, like, the win next turn, like, basically, if this isn't a win more card, 3 stun counters aren't doing it for you. Living Lectern. 1 and a blue artifact creature construct 0/4. 1 generic. Sack this creature to draw a card. Create a sorcerer roll token attached to up to 1 other target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, 25 cents. I believe that is the new top dog here for commons. Spell Stutter, 1 and a blue instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2 generic plus an additional 1 generic for each fairy you control. Stormkeld Prowler, 1 and a blue, creature, human, rogue, 2/1. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Okay. Water Wings, 1 and a blue instant until end of turn. Target creature you control has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains flying and hexproof. Flying and hexproof. I like flying and hexproof. Flying and hexproof is fun stuffs. Diminisher Witch, 2 and a blue, creature, human, warlock, 3/2 bargain. When this creature ETBs, if it was bargain, create a cursed roll token attached to target creature and opponent controls. Ice Out, 1 blue instant bargain. This spell costs 1 generic less to cast if it's bargained. Counter target spell. So this is interesting. So this is where the order of I would like to cast a spell becomes important, because with Ice Out, you would say, I have interactions. You currently have a thing on the stack. I would like to cast Ice Out. As part of casting Ice Out, I would like to bargain it by sacrificing an artifact, enchantment, or token. Now, because I've bargained, I only have to pay the 2 blue. So, like, again, like, technically, if I'm remembering this correctly, when you are casting a spell, you actually announce, I would like to cast this. In order to cast this, I will now pay all the costs, which first you have to check for, I guess, bargain, check for any reductions or additions to the mana value, then you actually pay the mana costs. So, Arena's going to keep this squared a lot nicer, I hope. I haven't played yet. Merfolk Coralsmith, 2 and a blue, creature, Merfolk, 2/3, pay a generic to give it +1/+0 until end of turn. When it dies, scry 2. Mocking Sprite, 2 and a blue, creature, fairy, rogue, 2/1 flying. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 generic less to cast. Not a bad play off of Goblin Electromancer. More aggressive because of the flying. Downside, it's a 3-drop, not a 2-drop. So, take your pick. Here we have it. Currently the most expensive common in WoW. Quick Study, 2 and a blue instant, draw 2. Yeah, oh, snaps. Goodbye, divination. We hardly knew ye. That's not true. We've known you for like 30 years. Like, goodbye! Actually, I have no idea when divination was printed, but yeah, this card is absurd. It literally is divination upgraded from sorcery to an instant. Hello, power creep. That's literally all there is to it. Johann's Stopgap. 3 and a blue sorcery bargain. This spell costs 2 generic less to cast. If it's bargain, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. Misleading Motes. 3 and a blue instant tap. Target creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Would be kind of interesting. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if you tapped and then you do the thing. Ventress Transmuta, 3 and a blue, creature, human, wizard, 3/4 vanilla, but with adventure. Croaking Curse, 1 and a blue sorcery. Tap target creature, create a cursed roll token attached to it. Into the Fey Court, 3 blue sorcery. Draw 3, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. Abria's Attendants, 4 and a blue, creature, fairy, wizard, 3/4 flying with adventure. Desperate Parry, 1 blue, instant. Target creature gets neg4/neg0 until end of turn. Belluna's Gatekeeper, 5 and a blue, creature, giant, soldier, 6/5 with adventure. So it's a vanilla 6/5, but with adventure. Entry denied. 1 and a blue sorcery. Return target creature you don't control with mana value 3 or less to its owner's hand. Moving on to the black commons. Hopeless Nightmare. Black 1-drop enchantment. When Hopeless Nightmare ETBs, each opponent discards and loses 2 life. Discards a card and loses 2 life. When this card is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2, pay 2 and a black to sack it. I like this. I like this a lot. It's just like it's a hasty 2-drop that made them discard a card. Okay, like imagine if this were like red 1, haste 2/1 with exert. Something like that. Like, let's imagine this was a red 1/1 haste that when you exerted it, got +1/+0, and opponent had to discard a card. Like, how good is that red creature? Okay? Except that creature also has that when this creature dies, scry 2, and it has a way to self-sack. Like, how is this not just like bonkers, right? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out how good this card is. Not Dead After All. Black 1-drop instant. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Then create a wicked roll token attached to it. 75 cents. Are you kidding me, scam? Scam is a scam. This card is now more expensive than Better Divination. Gotta be kidding me. Rat Out. Black 1-drop instant. Up to 1 target creature gets neg1 until end of turn. You create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Warehouse Tabby. Black 1-drop creature cat. 1/1. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Pay 1 and a black so that this creature gains death touch until end of turn. I don't quite understand why a cat cares about the enchantments going to the graveyard and then is making rats. The flavor there's a little lost on me. I like that it's a cat. I think it's great. I'm all for cat tribal. Why is the cat making rats? It's about as much sense as like, it's gonna make a dog now. Why? Barrow Naughty, 1 and a black, creature fairy, 1/3 flying. Barrow Naughty has lifelink as long as you control another fairy. 2 and a black, and it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So there's that. Candy Grapple, 1 and a black, instant bargain. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. If the spell was bargained, -5/-5 instead. That is excellent. Chase common right here. I don't see how it couldn't be for draft. Minstrosity. This sounds, oh my goodness, Minstrosity. I just have to take a second and realize that this isn't an Acorns card. It looks like it should be silver bordered. 1 or black creature horror 3/1. When Minstrosity dies, create a food token. Thank goodness it's something ridiculous that I don't want to play. Sugar Rush, 1 and a black instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Draw a card. Not terrible. Not terrible. I don't want to play it, but not terrible. Wicked Visitor, 1 and a black creature, nightmare 2/2. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. So, this is what I want. I want the cat into this, into enchantment. And in fact, I know which enchantment I want. I want that enchantment. I want Hopeless Nightmare. I just want as many Hopeless Nightmares, Warehouse Tabbies, and Wicked Visitors. I just want mono black woe draft. Like, boom, 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 boom. I just want to make rats. I want to eke away I want to paper cut away your life. This is what I want to do. Let me have it. It's black commons. I should be able to do this. Conceited Witch, 2 and a black creature, human warlock, 2/3 with menace and adventure. Price of Beauty sorcery. Create a wicked roll token attached to target creature you control. Feed the Cauldron, 2 and a black instant. Destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. If it's your turn, create a food token. That is a nice twist on Addendum. I like that way more than Addendum. Rowan's Grim Search, 2 and a black instant bargain. If this spell was bargained, look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put up to 2 of them back on top of your library in any order, and the rest into your graveyard. You draw 2 and lose 2. Nice. Very, very nice. Sweet Tooth Witch, 2 and a black creature, human warlock, 3/2. When Sweet Tooth Witch ETBs, create a food token, pay 2 generic and sack a food so that target player loses 2 life. Oh, sweet! There's a common version of it was the uncommon artifact that had food, the tempting apple thing. It was the WinCon food. Except this only deals 2 damage and not 3. I like it. Sweet. I like to see food. It's Food Fight. Like literally Food Fight sounds like probably the name of the deck. Voracious Vermin, 2 and a black creature, rat 2/1. When this creature ETBs, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with. This creature can't block. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Wait, hold on, back up. Whenever another creature. Okay. So what I'm cooking now is like a version with the anvil. So something that on turn 1 makes an artifact, turn 2 makes the anvil, turn 3 drop this, so that I can anvil sack the 1 drop, that's what it is. That's the Iron Apprentice. So 1 drop artifact. When it dies, you put a +1/+1 on it. So you apprentice anvil into Voracious Vermin, attack. Well, so this would not be until turn 4, but you'd have a 4/3 on turn 3 with still a 1/1 and the anvil trigger on the stack. Nice. Eret's Whisper, 3 and a black sorcery. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Create a wicked roll token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Fell Horseman, 3 and a black creature zombie knight, 3/3. When this creature dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. What? I'm sorry, what? When this creature dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. So if you have a way to insta-sack... Huh. Yes, because what you would do, so if you had a way to insta-sack, you can't get milled out with this, because you have to have this on the battlefield with your insta-sack. Empty library, turn passes, on upkeep, I'm going to insta-sack this to put it on the bottom of my library, which happens to be the only card in my library. Move to draw step, draw. So this is now a I never mill out. That's interesting. That's interesting. And it has adventure. Deathly Ride, Wonder Black Sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Stingblade Assassin. 3 and a black creature. Fairy Assassin. 3/1. Flash flying. When this creature ETBs, destroy target creature opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Not bad. Scream Puff. 4 and a black. Creature Horror. 4/5 Death Touch. When Scream Puff deals combat damage to a player, create a food. Shatter the Oath. 3 black sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Create a Wicked Roll token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Moving on to the red commons. Harried Spearguard. Red 1-drop creature, human soldier, 1/1 haste. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Kindled Heroism. Red 1-drop instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1. Torch the Tower. Red 1-drop instant bargain. Torch the Tower deals 2 damage to target creature or walker. If the spell was bargain, instead it deals 3 damage to that permanent and you scry 1. If a permanent dealt damage by Torch the Tower would die this turn, exile it instead. Bespoke Battle Garb. 1 and a red artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Celebration. At the beginning of combat. Attach it. Instant attach. Nice. Which is just attach. It's not instant. The equip is. But it's equip to generic. That's actually pretty cool. That's real cool. That's nice. I like that. Grand Ball Guest. 1 and a red. Creature, human, peasant. 2/2. Celebration. Gets +1/+1 and trample. Rat Catcher Trainee. 1 and a red. Creature, human, peasant. 2/1. As long as it's your turn, Rat Catcher Trainee has first strike and it's got adventure. Pest Problem. 2 and a red instant. Create 2 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block. Skewer Slinger. 1 and a red creature. Dwarf Knight. 1/3 reach. Whenever Skewer Slinger blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, Skewer Slinger deals 1 damage to that creature. Witch's Mark. 1 and a red. Sorcery. You may discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. Create a Wicked Roll token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Nice. Flick a coin. You're not flipping a coin, you're flicking a coin. 2 and a red. Instant. Flick a coin deals 1 damage to any target. You get to create a treasure token, and you draw a card. Interesting. Interesting. So, because you're getting the treasure back, it's not a 2-drop, but it's almost a 2-drop. And you're getting to draw a card. Interesting. And it's 1 damage that can go face. Frantic Firebolt. 2 and a red instant. Frantic Firebolt deals X damage to target creature, where X is 2+ the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant, sorcery, and or have an adventure. Gnawing Crescendo. 2 and a red instant. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies this turn, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Merry Bards. 2 and a red. Creature, human bard 3/2. When Merry Bards ETBs, you may pay 1 generic. When you do, create a young hero roll token attached to target creature you control. Minecart Daredevil. 2 and a red. Creature, dwarf knight 4/2 vanilla, but with adventure. Ride the rails. 1 and a red instant. Target creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Redcap Thief. 2 and a red creature, goblin rogue 2/3. When Redcap Thief enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Unruly Catapult. 2 and a red artifact creature construct 0/4 defender. Tap it so that it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap. Oh, that sucks that that's a 3-drop, but man, they just keep giving more of these. Alchemist, Thermo Alchemist, I think is what it's called, type of cards. Ooh. Oh. Cut in, 3 and a red sorcery. Cut in deals 4 damage to target creature. Create a young hero role token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Edge Wall Pack, 3 and a red creature dog, 3/3 menace. When this creature ETBs, create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Grabby Giant, 3 and a red creature giant, 4/3 reach. Pay 2 red, sack an artifact or land to draw a card. Ooh. Sack and artifacts and lands to draw cards, and it's got adventure. That's mine. 1 and a red instant. Create a treasure token. Very nice. Giant. Don't forget the sneaky reach. Bellowing Bruiser, 4 and a red creature ogre, 4/4 with haste with adventure. Beat a path, 2 and a red sorcery. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. That is how you finish games. So 5 plus 3 is 8. If I've got 2 of these in hand, whoo, and 8 available mana, no. If I have 8 available mana, I don't even need 2 of these in hand. If this is what I top deck with 8 mana, you're in trouble. Like big trouble. And on to the green commons. Brave the Wilds, green 1-drop sorcery bargain. If this spell was bargain, target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. That's still a land. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Commune with Nature, green 1-drop sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Leaping Ambush, green 1-drop instant. Target creature gets +1/+3 and gains reach until end of turn. Untap it. That's an ambush if I've ever seen one. Toadstool Admirer, green 1-drop creature. 1/1. Ward 2. Pay 3 generic and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on Toadstool Admirer. Bestial Bloodline, 1 and a green. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Pay 4 and a green. Return Bestial Bloodline from your graveyard to hand. Root Rider Fawn, 1 and a green. Creature, Satyr Scout, 1/3. Tap to add a green. 1 generic and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Ooh, it's a filter on a creature that's already a green mana dork. Territorial Witchstalker, 1 and a green. Creature Wolf, Defender, 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Hey, you like wolves? This is the 2-drop wolf for you. Titanic Growth, 1 and a green instant. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Let me double check. If you control a creature, doesn't have to be another creature. So, nice. Troublemaker Oof, 1 and a green creature 2/2 bargain. When Troublemaker enters the battlefield, if it was bargained, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Curse of the Werefox, 2 and a green sorcery. Create a monster role token attached to target creature you control. When you do that, that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Hollow Scavenger, 2 and a green creature wolf. 3/2, pay 1 generic, sack a food. Hollow Scavenger gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. So not as a sorcery, but just once each turn. Bakery Raid, green 1-drop sorcery adventure. Create a food token. So you can prep, at least get 1 food. I like it, I like it, I like it. Red Tooth Genealogist, 2 and a green creature, elf advisor, 2/3. When this creature ETBs, create a royal roll token attached to another target creature you control. Return from the Wilds, 2 and a green sorcery. Choose 2. Option 1, search your library for basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Option 2, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Option 3, create a food token. So because of this, there are essentially three versions of the way you can cast this. Either a 1/1 human creature token that comes with a food, search your library for a basic, onto the battlefield, tapped, create a food. Search the library for basic, put it on the battlefield tapped, create a 1/1 white human creature token. All three are decent options. I mean, for a 3-drop, kind of meh. But the fact that you get to switch that up based on your needs of the game, kind of cool. Spider Food, 2 and a green sorcery, destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Create a food token. Verdant Outrider, 2 and a green creature, human knight, 4/2. Pay 1 and a green to give this creature... so that this creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Ferocious Werefox, 3 and a green creature, elf, fox, warrior, 4/3 trample. Hello, triple subtypes. Elf, fox, warrior, I'm looking at you. But this card also has adventure. Guard Change, 1 and a green instant. Create a monster roll token attached to target creature you control. Sky Beast Tracker, 3 and a green creature, giant archer, 2/4 reach. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, create a food. Beanstalk Worm, 4 and a green creature, plant worm, 5/4 reach, but with adventure also. Plant beans, 1 and a green sorcery. You may play an additional land this turn. Hamlet Glutton, 5 green creature, giant, 6/6, bargain. This spell costs 2 generic less to cast. If it's bargain, trample. When Hamlet Glutton enters the battlefield, you gain 3. Alrighty, moving right along. The last of the last, the colorless commons. Candy Trail, 1 generic artifact food clue. When ETBs scry 2, pay 2, tap sack to gain 3 and draw a card. Holy golden egg of the set, Batman! Crystal Grotto, land. When this land enters the battlefield, scry 1, tap to add a colorless, pay 1 and tap to add 1 mana of any color. Evolving Wilds, not even going to read it, because if you don't know what Evolving Wilds does, you are still learning Magic. So it's a land. Tap, sack Evolving Wilds, search your library for basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Forest, Ginger Brute, 1 colorless, artifact creature, food golem, 1/1 with haste. Pay 1, this creature can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Pay 2 and tap, sack this creature, you gain 3 life. Island, mountain, plains. Prophetic Prism! 2 generic artifact. When Prophetic Prism ETBs draw a card, pay 1 tap to add 1 mana of any color. Some of the best mana filtering in the game because it is a turn 2 draw card. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Not good for... it's not terrible for draft, but you really shouldn't need to color fix in draft. So... Scarecrow Guide, 2 colorless artifact, creature, Scarecrow, 2/1 reach. Pay 1 generic to add 1 mana of any color. Activate only once each turn. Like, already. That's, I mean, arguably a 2/1 reach creature. I mean, no draw card, sure, but it's a 2/1 with reach. So, I don't know which one of those two is technically better. They're both 2 drops. How much of the advantage is the draw card versus it already being a creature with reach? I don't know. And Swamp. Swamp Womp. All right. So there you have it. I do believe that has reached the end of the common and uncommons from Wilds of Eldraine. This feels like it's going to be a fun set. This feels like it's going to be a fun set. I don't know yet of the 10 color pairs what's going to be strongest, but reading some of these commons, it's not going to surprise me if monocolored decks are viable. And then, like, I mean, just with some of the amount of color fixing that's available, even in colorless, the Grotto, the Prism, the Scarecrow dude, none of them are like overpriced fixing either. And Evolving Wilds is in the set. So like those 4 alone right now says like I could go mono black and splash green, blue, white rares. Like, that wouldn't even be hard. I could go. I lean towards mono black from what I remember reading there. Seemed like mono black had decent options, some built-in cool little synergies and combos. Some of them that just paired really nicely together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and drafting. The set is still fresh. It just dropped. I'm recording this on the morning of Thursday, September 7th. So the set dropped on Arena this past Tuesday. So it's not even 2 days old on Arena. And there you have it. All of the common and uncommons from Wilds of Eldraine. So if you need to just put this on repeat to get it into your brain as to what combat tricks are out there, because there's a lot of them thanks to Adventure, be aware, like, do not attack into open mana unless you are willing to kamikaze your dude, like, or if you're not packing backup, if you ain't packing your own combat trick, be cautious out there, folks. I'm feeling it's all just, whoa. Alright, but hey, that's gonna end this video. Go do something amazing.